Properties. Okay, hopefully you can hear my voice, maybe. I don't know. Let's get all this out of the way. Oh, thank you. I thought I heard something. Okay, let's see. I think I'm doing this right. I think I'm live, I believe. Yes. Yes, it looks like I am. I'm going to check my audio. Yes, okay. Everything's working. Great. Welcome. Hello, hello. Hi. This is a coding stream. Hello, everybody. I'm going to be doing some coding for some mini games. You can check out the workflow. Hopefully y'all can hear me. Can you all hear me? I think everybody can hear me. Yes, great, awesome. Okay, cool. All well and good. Oh yeah. Okay, so let me tell everybody I'm live. Sorry guys, I'm almost doing it. I'm almost there. I'm not the most professional of I can't. Thank you. Whatever. Gonna go add here. Maybe not. Okay, I don't even think I can use the whatever. Okay, let's get the link for people. See. All right. I'm sorry, everybody. Like I said, not the most professional guy out there. Ooh. Okay. Awesome. I also can't use... Yeah, I can't. Whatever. Okay. All right, let's do it. Get right into it. That work? Maybe? There it is. You guys see? I really should. Nope, that's the wrong thing. You guys see the... No, you can't. All right, it's just black screen. That's cool. Oh, man. I'm sorry, buddy. Properties. No, window. Eclipse. Yes. Aha, now you can see it. Awesome. So everybody can see the screen, right? Thank you. Okay, it's cool. Everybody can see the stream, yeah? Seeing black. Yes, yay, black screen. Okay, you guys should hopefully be... I'm gonna double check it, but yeah, you guys should see the... Yeah, you guys see the code. Great, awesome, wonderful. Okay. Ooh, so this is a game called Cadillac. It's the next card game that we're doing, and it's a lot of code. It's not finished yet. I'm at about what 3,000 lines of code, and all I've done so far is the AI, just the 4-player AI for running the whole game. I'll show you what it looks like, but basically, really quick rundown of the game. The object of the game is to get to 31, not 21, different from blackjack. The object of the game is to get to 31, and thus, you know, win the game. But it's kind of interesting because you can knock, and that means like, oh, you're done trying to take more cards. I'll explain in a real quick second. I'm gonna actually try to get other people to hang out with me. Voice live stream. There we go. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and run this baby, and I'll show y'all. I'll walk y'all through how it works so far. So Like I said, I've done the AI, but not the actual rest of it. So we got to get through that. So that's what we're going to do today. All right. Would you like to play the game? Yes, we want to play the game. Obviously, this is not in Papyrus. This is not in Fallout 4. The workflow for this is that the source code gets done in C code first, and then gets ported over to Papyrus. So that's the plan here. How much would you like to bet? We're going to do 3 caps per life for now, because I'm a cheap person. 9 caps total. Shuffling cards, card shuffled. They're dealt. All right. So now in our hand, guys, we have the 3 of hearts, the ace of hearts, and the queen of hearts. It's actually a really, really good hand, because only like suits add up to get to 31. So face cards and the 10 are all worth 10 points. The ace is worth 11 points, and then every other card is worth whatever its value is. So for example, in this hand, we have the 3, the ace, the queen. So we have 3 plus 11, which is 14, plus a 10, which is 24. So that's awesome. We're already starting out with 24. Now, if this were a real game, I would probably go ahead and knock, because I have a really high hand, and someone else at the table is probably has a hand that's lower than mine, and you just don't want to be last. The object of the game is to get as close to 31 as possible and make, other people not, be lower than you. And one card is flipped over on the table, and it's a 9 of diamonds. Everybody at the table can see that that card on the table is a 9 of diamonds. The weird thing about this is you have to, this is all text right now, obviously, but this will all be very visual when it's actually in the game. So we don't want that 9 of diamonds, obviously, because we have hearts, so we want to try to get higher hearts. So I'm not going to knock right now, because that part of the code isn't done yet. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a card from the deck and discard one of the cards that's already in my hand. Drew a 10 of clubs. Well, that doesn't help me, so I'm going to discard that card. So, yeah, so now I have 3 of hearts, ace of hearts, same thing, but the 10 of clubs now goes face up on the table. And then player 2 goes, they decided to draw a card from the deck. Player 2 has discarded 7 of hearts to the table. Player 3's turn, player 3 has knocked. So what that means, so that's where the code ends. So that means that player 3, just because I know the code, I wrote it, so I know that player 3's hand he has at least a 20. He has a 20 or higher, which that was just the arbitrary point I chose for them to knock when they reached 20 or higher. So he must have at least a 20. So that's what happened. So it knocked and kicked us out of that state that we were in, and now we today are going to work on that next state, the state that happens of what happens after someone knocks. That's what we're going to do. So after all that code, we get kicked. Where is it? Down to not here. We get kicked out to here. So it went to here. This turn exit. It jumped down here. And it went, so turn is exited, determine if Cadillac or if knock, perform a road reaction. So this state exits when someone either has Cadillac, that means their hand adds up to 31, or when someone knocks. Because once you knock, everybody else but you gets one more turn. So that's how this works. This is where it gets interesting. Okay, let's read the chat for a second before we get started doing this. I really should have taken notes beforehand. That one was mod coming along well. Thanks so much for the compliments, everybody. Yep, card game. No, not Caravan. Caravan was different. Caravan will be coming back, though. This is not a Caravan hand. Caravan is much more complicated. I don't even know how to play Caravan. Hello, Mrs. E. Welcome. Friend of mine. Welcome to the stream. Hope you enjoy it. No, this is not Caravan. That is coming back. I have to learn how to play it first, and then I can code it. This is a game called Cadillac, if you want to look it up. I already kind of explained it a second ago, but if you're just joining us, it's a little bit new. Hey, Ray. Ray, join me in voice, dude. I'm hanging out in voice. Okay. So, let's think. I'm going to need a piece of paper. Notebook out. All right, so we are here, by the way. This green line right here. Turn as exit, determine if Cadillac or if knock. So, in this case of the code that we just ran, we know it was someone knocked, but that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. It could be someone knocked or someone has Cadillac. Now, so if someone knocked, what happens is when someone knocks, hey, is that Ray? Ray. Anyway, hey bud. So if someone knocks, what happens is a variable called knock gets assigned the ID of the player that knocked. So that way I can use it later to determine who it was that knocked and go from there. So this is where it gets tricky. So let's do some condition statements here. So we know we're at this point in our thing, and I'm really bad about forgetting stuff, guys. I do that all. So I have a notebook. Yeah. Yes, but it would be over the course of several days probably. All of this today. Knock state. All right, good. See, all right. So I found my notebook, and now I'm reading my notes. All right, knock state. Someone has knocked. All other players have one turn. Start with player after the knock ID. So the knock ID. So that would be like, for example, if the knock ID is equal to 4, turn would be equal to 1. That means player 4 knocked, therefore it's player 1's turn because there's only 4. Else, your turn is equal to. So that's easy, and then a while loop. Okay, so I already have some notes here, guys. So we should be good to go. Well, let's double check and make sure that I added that functionality. Let's go up to where player 3 knocked, which would be, this is player, well, it's all the same. I copy and pasted the code. So at the very beginning of the turn is where the player, you can only knock at the beginning of your turn. So we're scrolling up. Oh, turn equals 4. Has are planned, Cadillac, or now should not, okay. Okay, so right here, if z greater than or equal to 20, that just means their hand value is greater than or equal, you know, z equals get hand val. Their hand value is greater than or equal to 20, should knock. All right, so P4 has knocked. Knock is equal to 4. That's where that ID comes in. So that's good. Awesome. Now, here's what we're going to do. If it's Cadillac, you know what, let's just do the knock first part. The Cadillac we can do afterwards because it's easier to handle the, because if someone has Cadillac, all it means is that everyone else at the table puts up 1 life basically. So it's easier just to do this first. So if knock equals 4, we know that player 4 knocked, right? And then therefore turn equals 1. Yep. And then else, no, wait. Oh, here we go. So we'll do this first, actually. We're going to nest all this. If knock not equal to 0, that means that if knock is not equal to 0, that means that someone did knock. So, but if it's equal to 0, if knock is equal to 0, then we know that the state exited, but knock is not 0. Or if the state exits and knock is 0, then it's Cadillac. But if knock is not 0, the only way that knock gets assigned, and oh Jesus, dropped my toaster. Sorry everybody, scared myself. Hope I didn't blow anybody's ears out. That's my bad. All right. But if knock has an ID assigned to it, then we know that someone knocked and it's not Cadillac. So those two different possibilities can occur. Okay. And then obviously if we're in here, so let's get rid of that, and then else turn equals knock, nope, that's not how you spell knock plus 1. Easy enough. So the reason that so obviously the turn, variable there is used to tell whose turn it is. So if it's player 4 that knocked, then all it means is it's now player 1's turn. If someone else knocked, it's just the next person, right? So if player 3 knocked, it would be player 4's turn. If player 2 knocked, it would be player 3's turn, blah, 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 blah. If player 1 knocked, it would be player 2's turn, right? And then here's the really, really crappy thing. And then it's the exact same stuff as what happened in the previous state. So I have to copy and paste all of the code of the previous state and put it in here with some minor adjustments. Everybody only gets 1 turn instead of looping back on it. Oh man. This is going to be interesting. So right here in this space, knock state turns, meaning that these are the turns that happen. So okay, so each player only gets one turn, so no looping. But it might loop because if it's like, for example, the way the turns are set up in the previous code is, you know, player 1's turn, player 2's turn, player 3's turn, blah blah. So we're gonna have to loop it. Yeah, so we're gonna have to loop it, but not for, we just want to count times a turn has occurred. I'm looking at my notebook now, guys, and luckily I took notes on this before I started, because we would just rolling in the mud here. Count times a turn has occurred. While count less than 3, first, after count equals 1, next count equals 2, count equals 3, done, evaluate. Does it make sense? Oh, yes, it does. I get it. Okay. Yeah. So count how many turns have occurred. Ooh, occurred. Only 3 should occur. Document your code, everybody. If ever you're writing code, document it. Saw this meme, a programmer meme, and it said, you know, well-written code should document itself. And it was the title of a book. Well-written code should document itself and other 10 hilarious jokes you can tell yourself. Meaning that well-written code does not necessarily document itself. Some people, there are schools of thought that pretty much believe that philosophy, but I've never seen that be true. Because if you didn't have all this green text that's like notes and stuff, you would have absolutely no freaking clue what's going on. Even I would have no freaking clue. I wrote the damn thing. When you're, you know, several thousand lines deep. If you read the... If I took out all the actual code and just showed you the green words, you would be like, oh, this makes sense. The green words are simple enough. Let's read the chat for basically a little. Yes, Caravan is coming back. Always, yeah, everybody wings it in Caravan. There's no real option. Vegan, yeah, hey guys, pop in a voice. I have no, I don't see Viggy. Yeah, yes, Cynic, coding is art, yes. Mrs. E, thank you. Yes, I'm the board game guy. When will this come out? So, oh well, Cascadia we don't talk about, but Barstool Games is already out, but we're, you know, but as far as it going into Cascadia, that's later date. What else do you work on other than in-game card games? So that's a great question. That's mostly all that I do, because that's kind of my role for that's my role for Cascadia. That's the big mod I work on. I do occasionally I do occasionally help out with other things for Cascadia, like there's a thing coming up that I might do some quest scripting for once it's done getting built, that kind of thing. I can help out here and there a little bit, but my main role is to make sure these card games are working. Yeah, I don't know how to change the stream title, so I apologize for that. Yes, I don't have login permissions. That's right, Saber. Buying Fallout 4. Hey, Mrs. E! You're good, buddy. That's a good idea. Since this Erigorog, good eye. No, not quite. What will happen is it's a workflow. So me and another guy named Scrivener07 work on this together. And since my training is all in C, and C is easy to port to Papyrus, I do all of the coding in C and then hand it off to Scrivener, who ports it to Papyrus. So in that way we kind of work in tandem, and then I'll do other in-world implementations like handling scripting, like Papyrus scripting with like the NPCs and stuff to make sure they actually use the game properly, and then he'll handle the back end, so to speak, the making sure the game actually runs properly. And Scrivener's a wizard with that. He's at a level way beyond myself. He's here. Sometimes he likes to listen and not. He likes to lurk and not tell me. So if he's here, you're a wizard, Harry Scriv. Okay, we got to get to writing here. We're gonna be stuck all day. All right. Okay, we need a new variable. If I haven't already created it, I probably haven't. All right, int pch vector drawn. Deal to nope, kind of like nope. No. Okay. Return. I don't even know. I'm gonna have to go through all this again. Every new hand. Where's the new hand? New hand. Right. Int count. Ooh, count. Var for tracking how many turns have occurred after entering knock state. Knock state is an official state. I just so like I said, the green text thing, right? Like these are notes. Like the green stuff, it's called comments in coding, but they're basically notes. So the program, the compiler doesn't actually run through all the green stuff. That's just there for me to read later on. But as you can see, if you read all the green stuff, you kind of get a good feel for what's going on. Like, for example, these up top here are all functions that I created. And the green text will tell you exactly what the function does, what you should expect to be returned from it, what it takes as arguments, and that sort of thing. So yeah, if you, people say that if there wasn't the green text, that the way the code is written should be pretty obvious. But like, for example, if you just saw int check Cadillac, int ph brackets, you'd just be like, what the heck does this do? Well, you're like, well, obviously it checks Cadillac, but that means that it checks if someone has Cadillac, but I don't know what it's supposed to return. I guess an int, it's supposed to return an integer, but what integers, what range of integers? And it takes an integer as an argument, but it takes an array of integers as an argument. What goes in this array? It's just, anyway. So that's why you need notes, people. Always, if you're ever writing code, make notes. Yes, Neil Patrick Harris gets returned from the function. Perfect. It's the most amazing function ever. I'm going to separate these out. Yeah, right. Okay. All right. So I created my new variable there, int count. Let's go ahead and initialize it. We'll initialize it to 1. So that means that it already has a value of 1 stored in it, because, yeah, and we're going to go down here and do our while loop, so while loops in C function sort of the same way as states in Papyrus. If you're a modder and you're more familiar with Papyrus scripting, I'm using states to emulate I'm using while loops to emulate states in this code. And that, Scrivener will obviously, he'll take care of that when he ports it over. It's a super easy port into like text, like porting the C into Papyrus is super easy for like just doing the message boxes and text boxes. Again, if you're familiar with those, it's really easy to do that. That was done the same day when I handed him the blackjack code. It was done the same day. Same day that let's put this end line of knock. Is this the end line of knock state? Yeah, it kind of is, right? End line of knock state. So what we'll have? No, yeah. If I ever go silent, yeah, jump in there. Jump in there. Count less than 3. Talking does help. I'm one of those people that talks to themselves whenever they do like math problems or whatever, so that does kind of help me. If you want to interject. We are, well, that happens. Yep. For each remaining player to have 1 turn. I'm hoping you guys in the chat tell me if this is just unbelievably boring, because I know that looking at a wall of text just isn't exciting. It will not release on Xbox. Sorry. Creation Kit is coded in C++ anyways, isn't it? The engine is. Yeah, the engine is C++. Very good. Aragorog. Yes, it is. Yeah, C++. Yeah. Yeah. Realize I'm going to go on to lose one person. Yeah, it's not coming out on Xbox. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, it is definitely a wall of text. I apologize for that. It's not the most interesting of things to watch. I don't think it is, but maybe you do. See, this is where the chat's supposed to help me. I put less than 3, guys. It's less than or equal to 3. If it was less than 3, we would only get 2 turns in. Come on, guys. Come on. That's on you. I'm going to keep doing that. I am sorry. I don't know why that's happening. Coaster is... Let me switch out coasters here. Coaster is sticky, apparently. I'm going to wash it off. All right. Not for that reason. Get your minds out of the gutter. It's my name's White Collar Bacon Shark. Nice to meet you. I do scripting and coding for mini games for Cascadia. Okay. Oh, thank you. Welcome to the team. All right, let's do this. What you know what I mean? The team of people who follow the stream. There we go. So this is where we get to do a lot of copy and pasting, everybody. And by a lot, I mean one giant copy and paste. One massive. Oh, this is gonna like dramatically increase the size of this file. I'm gonna have some long. Scrivener will be much better about optimizing this, by the way. So don't worry if you're thinking that, you know, your PC can't handle coding. I promise you it can. Okay. Yes, this is the messy part. All right, so we want to go from here. Yes, we want to go from here. So this is where the player menu starts, all the way down. So far down. You can hear my scroll wheel. It's working hard. Where am I at? P3, almost. Oh man, keep going. Oh. Turn equals. Nope, we're on turn 4. Come on. Almost there. P4. Nope. Almost. Oh. Uh. And it almost. Okay. Bam. All that. Control C. That's like a couple thousand. How much is this, guys? Let's look. We ended. Where did we end at? We ended at 2,200, and we started at 250. So literally almost 2,000 lines of code. That's just getting copied. So that's wonderful. And I got to go through and trim some of it up. I can't use all that. I got to go back and clean it because we got some like go-to stuff in there, and that's going to be nasty if I know. Ready? Bam. AI. Whew. Do you see that lag? AI. S. Work? Okay. Whew. All right. Let's build it, see what happens. This is a bad idea. I should not build this. This is not ready to go. This is so borked right now. Because there's like some go-to statements and stuff on what happens. And I haven't incremented the count yet, so it would just loop perpetually in this while state. Oh man. This is not fun. I just made my job significantly harder. How many lines are we at? Great, 5,000 lines. Oh my lord. This has got to be the longest code I've ever written for anything, and I've written some pretty stuff. Yeah, I know. That's going to be absurd. I'm so there is no. Hey, Retep. Hi buddy. Hey. How are you? Um, oh, was it retap? Awesome. Thanks, retap. Procedural code. Not sure exactly what you mean by that, but not really in C. C is very basic. It's very low level, which unfortunately is what my training is in, so I'm most familiar with it. But the sad news is, yeah, that's where my training lies, so I have to work with it. Make the most of it, you know. Okay, there we are, end line of knock state. So now there's a couple of things we have to do, and this is gonna get unbelievably. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna apologize in advance. This is not even the most exciting of coding things to do, but I got a request previously to do more coding streams, so I will honor it. All right, now we need to do a couple of things. One, we need to take out these go-to statements because they're not going to work. So that's important. Yeah. Okay, so that's fine. Oh. Actually, I can definitely just search for the go-to statement. Let's do that. We're going to search for the go-to statements, guys. 3, what was it? 2, 4 something? 4, 242. Yeah, here we go. So we're going to search all this. Control F. Find. We're going to find go-to. We're going to remove wherever we see it. That go-to main exit, that's fine. That is that's an error message that puts out whenever something's wrong. Go-to main exit, also an error message that prints when something's wrong. Turn exit. This one has to go. This one's got to go. Can't have that. Yep. Okay. Main exit's fine. Turn exit's got to go. Next. Turn exit's got to go. Turn exit's got to go. Main exit's fine. Turn exit's got to go. Oh, I'm gonna have to rework this. Turn exit's got to go. It's got to go. Main exit's fine. Turn exit's got to go. What are we at? We on E3. That's where we're at. Why does this say PCH? Say P3H. The heck? Does that say PCH for all of them? Oh no. Yeah. Fuck. What's that? Damn it. Let's keep doing what we're doing. Turn exit's got to go. Turn exit. Oh, where am I? P4. Okay. Main exit's fine. Turn exit's got to go, and that should be the last one. Okay. Fuck, guys. Damn, I just found a massive bug. That's not good. I don't know how many times that's occurred. That is no bueno. That is... So, for example, all right, look, PCH, P2H, and P3H, and P4H. This right here, those are the arrays that hold... That's literally the player's hand, the cards in their hand. And what I think I just did was I accidentally, before checking to see if the player has Cadillac so that they can, you know, oh, Cadillac, I win, I think I accidentally put PCH for all of the AI players, when in fact, you know, for the player character, I should have put PCH for player 2, P2H, and then P3H for player 3, P4. Oh my god. We're going to fix that right now. Yeah, I know. Thank God. That'd be a tough bug to notice, too. Check Cadillac. Yep, that's the function declaration. Okay, so that's for the player character. So PCH is fine, so we're going to keep going. This is at the end of the turn, again for the player character, so PCH is fine. Now we're on turn 2, check Cadillac, P2H is fine. Oh fuck, where am I? This is not fine, check for Cadillac. This is at the end of P2, so this needs to be P2H. Okay. Turn equals 3, check Cadillac, P3H is fine. No, forward, what? Oh no, we're on P3, sorry, it looks the same. So the end of P3, PCH, that's not good, we need P3H. Does everybody understand? I'm gonna look at the comment, at the chat. Does everybody understand how that's, what I'm doing there? Why that's a bug? I'm trying to be part educational, part entertaining, but I'm really not good at being entertaining, so I might as well be educational. Yeah, thank you. I guess procedural linear code. Yeah, so Papyrus is object oriented and C obviously is not. And so that was a big challenge when we set up the framework for Barstool Games. And it took a lot of work by me and Scrivener, both, mostly me testing stuff and mostly him trying to, trying to figure stuff out. That was a big problem we had to overcome. Our stacks would get unbelievably deep because it just wasn't designed for an object-oriented system. And obviously it is. So that was a big challenge that we had to get around, but luckily we now have a really solid framework going, and we really think that future card games are going to be super easy to implement because we now have a better understanding of what our framework can do. What language is this? This is, I am writing in C. It will eventually be ported to Papyrus, which is the Bethesda proprietary language for their scripting for all of their games. I'm a little late. I'm coding what are we doing? Prickly Jew. I am coding a new game called Cadillac. It'll be a mini game that you can play in Cascadia. Any tips on how to get better? Tips on coding. Start simple, start small. Don't start with 5,000 lines like I'm doing. Yes, thank you, Gurga. It is long. Scripting is different from programming. Yeah, it's tough. Scripts are interesting. GG. Yes, rather find and let supply. Thank you, Cynic. Yeah, absolutely happy to do it. Okay, caught up on the chat a little bit. Okay, let's keep going. We're still debugging, guys. Oh, fine. All right, so turn 4, so we're on player 4, P4H is fine. PCH again. So it looks like whenever I copied it that time, I just forgot to change it. That happens all the time. Good thing this wasn't like a bug that popped up later. It took me hours and hours. Okay, but I'm gonna have to fix it again here. So PCH, PCH, P2H, PCH, this needs to be 2. And then on P3H, this needs to be P3H. And then moving on, P4H, this needs to be P4H. Awesome. Okay, so debugged that, squashed that before it even popped up. That's good. Now, we've taken out our go-to statements, which would break it. We've fixed a bug. And now we need to, I'm going to make a note of this because I'm going to have to go at some point. What time is it? I'm going to stop in about, Ray, how long have I been streaming? Do you know? Does anybody know in the chat? Anybody tell me? I don't want to go. About an hour. I'll go. Okay, we'll go to 1:30. 1:30 my time, 1:30 Central Time. So in about, that's like an hour and 20 minutes from now, approximately. So we'll go for another hour 20. So I'm going to have to, we're not going to finish this, guys. I'm sorry. We're not going to finish this in an hour and 20 minutes. I like code notes continue. And don't like this. I need a pencil. I'm not confident enough to write my notes on coding in pen. Let's use this pencil. It's a good pencil. All right. Well, that's different. I need to keep these notes. If I mess up, I need to. Okay, so sorry guys, I'm writing hand notes right now. So we're in knock state, and the next thing we need to do is we need to increment turns. That's the count variable that we. That's really easy to do. And I'm going to use there's a bunch of shortcuts and stuff. For example, anybody in the chat who's watching and is familiar with C code may notice that this is probably written, or it's not probably, it is. It's written very inefficiently. If you notice, like my printf statements, I call for most of them, I call a flush. I flush the buffer right after each print statement. That's, you don't really need to do that, but I'm doing it to be doubly certain that everything's working fine, and so that when it gets ported to Papyrus, it's all easy to port over. Things like pointers and stuff like that, array pointers and stuff like that, and that you can do in C, you can't do in Papyrus. So I'm trying to make sure that the C code is as compatible with porting over to Papyrus as possible. So, you know, tricks and stuff that you could probably get away with in C, you might not necessarily be able to get away with in Papyrus. So I'm keeping it very simple, which is why it looks as count variable. So, like, for example, to increment account a variable in C, you could do, we're okay. Right here, you could do count plus plus that, and that would increment that variable. But what I'm going to do, because like I said, I want to be thorough, is I'm going to do count plus 1. Does everybody understand the difference between them? I mean, obviously there's a syntax difference, but they function the same way, just one is written a different method. So hopefully that makes sense to everybody. So when you see that, don't be increment turns. Pretty much that's where I'm at for now. Let's do that before I move. Okay, so we're in our knock state. We need to increment our turns here. What that means is we just have to keep track of how many turns that have occurred. So no, I'm on P3 still. Or wait, crap. Inline of knock state, go up. Ah, here we go. Nope, nope, still up higher. Okay. All right, so we know, well, let's just go ahead and we initialize it to 1, but we're going to reset it to 1. Okay. So when we get here, count starts at 1. Wait. Should it start at 0? Hang on, let me think about this. So if it starts at 0, player 1 goes, then it would go to 1. Player 2 goes, then it would go to 2. Player 3 goes, and it would go to 3. This loops while count less than 3. So if it's... No, you guys were right. You guys were right. I was stupid. We want this to exit whenever the count is equal to 3 or greater. It should never be greater. It should always exit whenever it gets to equal to 3. Should it? Ah, that's... What's going to happen is it's going to loop regardless. Damn it. I don't even need the while loop. I don't. I don't think I do. No, I do, to make it go back up. Yeah, okay, we're gonna keep it. But we're gonna have to get creative here. Okay, alright. Sorry guys, I had to get lost in my own head there. Count equals 1. Alright. So, well, no, we want it to start at 0. So we're gonna set 0, we're gonna go back up to the top. What line are we on? 22, 24. We're gonna go back up here, be sure it initializes to 0. That, you don't need to do that, but just gonna, again, be thorough. 22, 24, 22, 24. Okay. All right, so it'll be the player's turn. This, we'll get back to this later. Let's focus on one thing at a time. We're just going to increment the turns. That's all we're going to do. We are assuming that the player is executing a turn. They did not knock. They're executing their turn. So there we go through all this. Knocked. Can't not. We'll come back to this. We'll come back to this. End of player menu loop. Check for cat. So we need to go right here. Where do we need to go? Okay. Go right here. Increment count. Well, you know what? I don't need to. That's fine. I'll just do count equals count plus 1. So this is the obviously this right here is the last line for the player 1 turn. So basically, you know, no matter what happens, the code should get to this point. So no matter what occurs during the player's turn, it will consider it. It will count it as a turn and increment the variable. So all right, that's good. But see, here's the thing: if the player is last, we're gonna have to get creative. We're gonna have to exit. We're gonna have to do another. We're gonna have to exit this loop. We're gonna have to force it to exit this loop, and there's only one good way to do that. Not one good. I mean, this is how we're gonna have to do it. Yeah, 2477. All right, chat. Remember 2477 in case I forget. Which I mean, I say in case. I will certainly forget. Okay. Okay, we've got a new label there, which means we can exit. What was it? 2477? Is that right? Thank you. Is. All right. So now here's what happens, guys. Okay, so once we increment count, if the count hits 3, we need to be able to jump out. We need to leave. Because, for example, say player 2 knocked. Say player 2 knocked. Player 3 would go, that's 1. Player 4 would go, that's 2. Player 1 would go, that's 3. But because we're still inside the while loop, the condition already checked. It checked back when count was still 2. So it's like, oh, count's only 2. Keep looping. And it'll run through all this again unless we tell it to exit. So you see what I'm saying? It would go over to player 2, and without this check right here, player 2 would go again in that scenario that I just described. So that's why we have to have this little blurb. But that's, you know what, this is easy to do. We can just copy this and move it to the same spot in every single place. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go paste that everywhere that a turn ends, and that'll be our incrementation that we've done. Let's go scroll down to the bottom of player 2. Right here. Boop. Okay. It's done. Let's go down to player 3. Boop. Okay, that's player 3. Player 4 is different, obviously, because well, no, player 4 is not any different, I suppose. It runs off turn, not where are we at? Did I not put an inline for? Damn it! Fuck me. All right. See, that should be the inline for player 4's turn that I just highlighted, but we're to go check. Yes, it is. Perfect. Okay, this is P4 turn end line, which means that we're going to put our code right there. Bam. Okay. All right. We've done that. So now what will happen is, if for whatever reason during the loop, it gets to 3, it'll go ahead and jump to this label that I created, and so that way it should work properly. But like I said before, you know, because I copy and pasted all the code, I have to basically remove some of the functionality, some of the like, you know, when someone knocks in the game Cadillac, when someone has knocked, no one else can knock because everybody just gets one more turn to try to make their hand as strong as possible, basically, just one more turn. So you can't knock. You can still get Cadillac, but you can't knock. So we have to remove the knocking functionality from everybody, not just the player character, but from all the AI players as well. So we don't need all that functionality. Right. Right. So the issue with that obviously is you know, I got to make sure there's continuity there. Yes, like Rayler said, we don't want him to continuously knock, and that's going to be just tedious almost, pretty much. But I have to do it in order, otherwise. Hey, for you, oh, I'm way up here. I don't know. 2000 P2, so. Well. Call this knock state, basically. Well, technically this is knock state. Whatever. Wait a minute. So this is going to have this statement right here is going to have a counter else to it, basically saying, you know, if no one knocked and instead this state up here exited because someone had Cadillac, it will skip all of this crap. But that's unlikely. Someone getting Cadillac is a very rare occurrence. Okay. All right. Let's read the chat for a second, because this is about to get really. Bye, Gerga. You're probably already gone, but bye. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you joining. Yes, I am reading the chat. Take breaks in between coding and reading. Hello, Hardcore Pete. Nice to see you. I am reading occasionally. Why are you not directly writing the game in Pyrus? So Dex and Enda. It's so the workflow that I have with Scrivener, the guy who I work on the mod with, he is much more skilled in Papyrus than I am, and so he writes the game. He writes the game code in Papyrus, but to make his life easier, we split up the work. So I write the source code in C, and then give him the C code, and then he can very quickly port it into Papyrus. It's a lot easier for him to port it into Papyrus than it is for me, because he built the framework from scratch, basically. So that's how that goes. Not feeling very epic. Hello, David Bowie's nose. Welcome. All right. Cool. Great. Yes, the very. Yep. Oh yeah, that's all it is. Yeah, when you play this in Fallout 4's engine, I mean, when you play this either in vanilla Fallout 4 or in Cascadia, because it'll be in both, whenever you play this, just remember that, hey, I saw this when it was nothing but words on a text document, basically. This is really just a text document, if we're being honest. And all I have to, you know, I just have an environment that can build it for me, but this is really a text document. There's really nothing fancy about any of this. This is very low level stuff. Yeah. So my training is in very low level programming. I'm like for work and also my school, it's all in very low level programming. C is probably the most, it's going to sound funny, but C, well, and Papyrus, but in training, C is the highest level I've gotten in my training in school and work and stuff. Papyrus is as outside of my school and work. I do that as a hobby, but Papyrus is very, it's very high level. It's object oriented, whereas C is not. So anyway, okay, so back to work. We need to remove the knocking functionality, but not. We still need the Cadillac. Excuse me. We still need the Cadillac functionality, but not the knocking functionality. So here's how this works. We all right. So if they have Cadillac, we need to go to that new one we created called knock end. Then we'll go from there. No Cadillac, so execute turn. Down here, we're executing the turn. What card display? What would you do? Take table card and discard a current card. Knock. This. We need to get rid of knock. You cannot knock. Either take the table card and discard a current card, or you can discard and you can draw from the deck and discard a current card. Those are your options. So if the input was 3, wait, no, wait. Go down to where they said knock. Also, if input 3, we don't need this. Wait. Wait, where's the knock button? Oh wait, here we go. Ah, this sign knock ID. We don't need this. Do not need this at all. We do need that error statement though, so I'm going to leave that there. Yeah, for the off. I mean, for some. This is for someone breaking it. Basically, if someone tries to like, you only have 3 options, but say someone types in 9, then it's gonna be like, well, you know, that's not an error. That's not an option. But is that, what is that else statement in line with? Is that the other option for? Yes, it is. Okay, that's fine. Check for Cadillac, because you can have Cadillac at the end. So we're gonna say if you have Cadillac, go to knock end. Does everybody understand why we're doing it like this? Why we have to remove this functionality based on the rules of the game, and also why we're Oh wait, you know what? This doesn't wait. Hold on, I just thought of something. This statement needs to move, because if they're not playing, then it shouldn't count as a turn. And the way I have it set up now, it will. We should. It should maybe go right here, or like right after this, I believe, probably. I think that's, what is this? What is this for? What is this bracket? This is why you use comments, people, so I can know what that bracket's for. It's for this, has lives. That's what I thought. Okay. So really, we want it to go right. End line of has lives to play. That's why I use notes. That's why I use notes, so I don't have to scroll up and find it. So really, we need to move this. Control X, Control V, A, I. Is this making sense? Is this making sense for everybody so far? This is end line of PC. We had to move that there because if they're not playing, if they're out of lives, then it's, you know, it doesn't count as a turn. So it only counts if they have lives to play. Okay, that's 2. Or that's player character. Check the chat. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, I hope to at some point. All right. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I guess technically yes, it is. Although to be fair, the Matrix world was better than the world in the anyway. Yeah, I think everybody's either been bored to sleep or they're just not paying attention anymore. I don't even know how many people are watching. Really, do you know? Oh, thanks for sticking it out, you 17. You probably just most of them probably just went to sleep at the keyboard and just passed out. Rayler, why don't you tell us what you've been working on while I do some stuff here. Yeah. It's fine. Has that been tough for you to do, or has that been pretty easy? Yeah, how's that going? Uh, this is gonna fucking eat me. Okay, where does this bracket match up? Yeah. Well, actually, let's get rid of this bracket right there. Oh, oh, fuck it. There it is. Okay. Oh, okay. What's good? Okay. I'm watching even though I don't know C. Hello. Welcome, Deathman. How'd your mind not explode? Just practice, man. I just stared at this stuff. Yeah, that's true. That'd be crazy to start this stuff in the first place. Welcome. If you're just joining us, I think there's some new people, but just glad you could be here. We're just slowly killing our brain cells. That's okay. Don't need that. Not gonna knock. Oh my. Well, considering we're now at 5,000 roughly lines of code, yeah, you're gonna be got a lot of stuff. We're not finishing everything today. I'm stopping about in about an hour my time. Well, not an hour from now, everybody's time. Aha! It's not in C+. Aha! Damn it. Loopholes. All right. Scrolling down, we're going through the AI. This is all fine as it is. I just need to get rid of the knock stuff. Oh, I need to make a note of that. Rid of knock. You guys have questions about Cascadia? Ask in the chat. Feel. Yeah. So if you have questions about, workflows, programming, coding, anything related to what we're streaming, I realize that most of you probably don't have questions about this because it's not an interesting topic, but it's necessary. We'll be like Lucy from Peanuts. We'll offer psychiatric help for 5 cents. Except not, because we don't accept money, but yes, we can accept peanuts as currency. True. Unless there's a country that considers peanuts legitimate currency, in which case maybe not. But oh yeah. uh, that's true. That's true. Ray, have you ever done a level design live stream? Probably not. You probably can't. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, you can't show that stuff. Ray's working on secret stuff. Y'all can't see it. It's so secretive. No, it's secretive. Shh. We've said too much. they're gonna hunt you down and torture you to show you what you're working on. That's true, they do. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to have that ruined for you. I wish there was like a I wish there was like a open I wish there was like a jump to to the other bracket, you know? That would be nice. Nope. Does anybody know of that? Is that like does anybody know of a jump to other bracket in Eclipse? There may not be. If anyone here uses Eclipse, let me know. How's chat doing? You understand how Caravan works? Absolutely fucking not, but I will soon. That is a really I do. Yeah, so people have asked me. I get this question sometimes. They're like, "Oh, for blackjack or for Caravan." They're like, "Oh, well, you don't really need to understand it because you can just take the code out of New Vegas and use it." And I would absolutely love to do that. That would be my dream, but I can't because in New Vegas, well, no, it was all. It's not because we gotta port it and stuff, but it was all done in Flash. In Flash, I forget the language. What is it? ActionScript? It's ActionScript. It's all done in ActionScript and in Flash menus. Yes, and it's buried in there, and it is just very difficult, if not impossible, to extract and look at. None of it is done in Papyrus. None of those mini games are done in Papyrus. I know, right? So we just can't. I just physically cannot get to it, and so I can't. So I have to then. So now my struggle is I have to learn the game in order to be able to write code for the game. Instead of I would have loved to be able to do that. That's the right line. So scrolling back. Well, you know, there's other places for that. If you want to go listen to music, I don't sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I can work to music. I usually can't work to music. Sometimes I can, but not really. I can study to music. Well, yeah, level designing I get. Um, is okay. Um, yeah. We don't need this. Boop boop. Don't need this. Oh, wait, we do need that. We don't need this line. Boop 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 boop. Don't need this. This. And this is where it's going to get interesting. Let's go down to our problem section. The end of it. We don't need that. That. Sort. Bam. Just keep everything nice and neat. If you use Eclipse, pro tip, if you use Eclipse, Control A, Control I. It will automatically format all the spacing and stuff for your nesting and things like that. Big. That's when you see me highlight everything and then it shifts. That's what that is. Super helpful. Control A, Control I. Super useful. I know, right? I've been doing the same thing. We new stuff all the time. It's true. Yeah, if you're not learning, you're stagnating. Scroll down. This is yeah. Saw a great motivational thing. It was a flow chart with Bruce Lee's face in the background. Like, should you be practicing? And it was basically obviously every outcome resulted in practicing. Um, but one of the one of my favorite ones was is there someone better than you, and yes or no. If it said yes, then it was like keep practicing, and it was like, and then if you went to no, it was like find someone better than you, keep practicing. That's my policy with Papyrus. And there are a lot of people better than me at Papyrus. Yeah, keep practicing. It's true. Stay humble, like all rappers say, stay humble. Yep. um okay, doing well. Like, for example, that there's people above me because that whole PCH versus P3H bug from earlier that we fixed. So that's how you know. Hello, Faustman. Welcome. I have trouble remembering where I'm at with just 100 lines of code. Sheesh. Yeah, dude, those comments, that green stuff, that's the only way. If there wasn't any of that, nope, wouldn't happen. Caravan's Nightmare, I never played and I never will. You should give it a shot. You should try playing it. I didn't even know there were achievements for Caravan. You should try playing it. Um, because you've heard horrible things about Eclipse. Why? Why have you heard about Eclipse? What do you use? If you do programming, what do you use if not Eclipse, or C or C++ or anything like that? So MV games are really high level and OOP, while Papyrus C++ is low and not really. No. So Papyrus is object-oriented program. OOP. Papyrus is OOP, object-oriented programming. It's Papyrus is not C++. C++ and Papyrus, two different things. So yeah, New Vegas, Fallout 4, all Bethesda games use Papyrus. They use object-oriented programming, different versions of it, but the same base stuff. They all use Papyrus. C++ is what the engine uses to interact with your hardware and stuff. The engine is the bridge between your hardware and the end Papyrus. You can think of the engine like you can think of it as layers, right? So you have your hardware, you have okay, fine. I'm gonna gloss over all the the poop that sits between your hardware and yeah, yes, it does, like an onion, um, and cakes. And anyway, so you've got your engine, you've got C++ that interacts between the engine and your hardware, or other parts of your hardware, blah blah blah. Right? I'm fuzzying that because what specifics. Anyway, C++ interacts between the engine and the hardware, and then Papyrus interacts between the engine and like, how to describe this, the objects, the stuff. They kind of get, not really into coding, but I do some light modding for before. Yeah, okay, cool. So if you've done some light modding, anything that uses fragments in your quests or whatever, quest scripting, that's all Papyrus. I don't know what sort of modding do you do, if you don't asking. And then I'll be able to make that comparison. But how NPCs move, that's all Papyrus that relates to the engine, and then the engine relates to your hardware to actually show them moving, blah blah blah. Cool, everybody get it? We've just described how the game works. All right. Sorry, I'm just kind of going fast because I want, I want to make this a productive stream, which it has been. We've already done a lot. Shit, yeah. This is at the end of the beginning. Oh, turn 3 inline. Gotta move this. Control X. Wait. Right. All right, I don't necessarily do that, but whatever floats your boat, right? So this should be, yeah, that is bad life advice. Has lives end line. Okay, so we're moving on. Almost done. We're on player 4. Go to knock end. I mean, we're not done with the, almost done with, we're done with this, what we've been working on. Yeah. Okay. That. Doing that. Don't need this. We're not doing that. Don't need this. And it's going to get mad. It's going to give us a little doobity-doo. There we go. Yeah, it's going to highlight yellow, be like, hey, the reason it's highlighting yellow, just as an educational opportunity here, the reason it's highlighting yellow is because all of this that's in yellow is contained within what's called an else statement, and else statements can only exist if you first have an if statement. And since I deleted the if statement, the software is telling me, hey, you have an else statement but no if statement, so what are you doing? Basically what's happening. Control A, Control I, Shift and over. Yeah, if you're ever one of those people that thinks that, I mean, I feel like it's obvious, but obviously Bethesda releases games with bugs in them. If you're ever one of those people, happy accidents. If you're ever one of those people that thinks that, Bethesda games, don't have, like, they don't have a lot of problems, or for the most part, they're pretty good, open up the creation kit, load Fallout 4.esm, read the warnings text box, and just look at all the shit that they just left there. It's just a lot. It's just yeah, yeah. So if you're ever wondering what all the poop that Bethesda left in there, just open up that and look at the warnings and just be like, oh my god, this is insane. How did they release it in this state? Okay. Yep. Go to knock end. We need to go to this. This should be the has lives inlined, has lives inline. Does it even show it up on the thing? Oh, it's just something. Wait. Oh, wait, no, never mind. 4134:21. Oh, 21 space. That's where I am. Never mind. Oh, I was hoping it would tell me where my other thing is. Should be just double checking. Yep. So we want it to go right there. Okay. That is it. Sort of. I mean, not it, but we're gonna do. Whew. Yes. Okay. Turn. That's the line. What is this? Is this the? That must be the. No. Really high up there, whatever it is. Nope. Oh wait, too high, too high. Wait a minute. If that's that. Wait. Hold on. If that's that bracket. What is this bracket? Oh, that's this if statement. That's that if statement. Okay. That's fine. This is inline of knock state if statement. Okay. Okay, okay. So then down here would be where we start the Cadillac. Cadillac state start here. See? Notes, guys. Notes. That's why you have this. All right, let's build it. Woo, that's good. These are warnings. Much like in the CK, warnings are fine. You can play the game with warnings. The problems are when you have errors. And as you can see, we have no errors. But that doesn't necessarily mean it works. That just means we have no errors, which is very different from working. Okay, let's do it. Let's test what we've done. Let me take a sip of coffee. No. We're going in the C version of the game, text version of the game. Not input. If we were, oh man, we are not at that stage yet. I'm sorry. Sorry. Okay, Red Star Eclipse, question mark, hello, welcome, I don't know what you're asking about. Okay, we're the specific question, but you seem like a guy that surely knows more about F4 scripts than me, and I never found any information about this. In our PA scripts, it does race change. So it's probably on the PA furniture, the power armor frame furniture itself. I've never looked at PA frame power armor scripting. Mostly because I don't think a lot of it is done with scripting. I think a lot of it is done just through like perks and what's magic, either magic effects, perks, or I forget what magic. It's done mostly through like magic effects, perks, and keyword changes and stuff like that. So probably just a keyword. It's probably just on the, if you go into the Fallout, if you go into the creation kit, look at the power armor frame furniture record, it's probably somewhere in there, there's a keyword change to change the race. What are we looking at? We are looking at source code for a new minigame that will be in Cascadia called Cadillac. Fallout 4 doesn't run. Well, it barely runs, especially in Diamond City. Yeah, it depends on your PC, that's for sure. By the way, no, not at all. But fun fact, this is why older games like Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, the not this, but if you remember me earlier, I was talking about how the layers between how the game connects with your computer's hardware. Like I talked about how C++ connects between the engine hardware, and Papyrus connects between the engine and like integration kit basically. Um, so that those layers, that's why Fallout 3 and New Vegas don't run perfectly, and you need patches and stuff to run them on like Windows 10 versus the older versions of Windows, because the hardware has changed. The C++ and how it interacts with the and how the engine interacts with the hardware has changed. So when the interaction between the bridge, you know, it's like trying to build a bridge from the engine to the hardware, but the hardware has changed levels and the bridge only intersects about halfway, and so it gets confused. It runs into the side of the cliff wall instead of, you know, at the top of it. So that's why that happens, and why you need patches to sort of boost up that bridge so it connects the 2 points. That's why those older games tend to, and why everybody has different experiences with different hardware with Fallout 4. Some people who have, you know, similar spec PCs, they may have different experiences just because of the different types of hardware they're using. One time I looked at PA frame script, there was literally saying, "I don't know why this does not work. Delay seems to fix it." That's hilarious. Yeah, that you'll see that stuff a lot. I love looking at the comments of Bethesda stuff. It's hilarious. Fallout Cascadia is a overhaul. Ray, why don't you run them down on what Fallout Cascadia is? Oh, I did not know that. Hey Flynn, I did. Why can't they hear Ray on stream? I don't know why not. Oh, yeah, and no one's. How? Why can they not hear Ray? I don't understand. I don't know, guys. Yeah. Oh, you know what? No, I know why. They can't hear my desktop audio.
Oh,
Hang on. Go now?
okay,
Yep,
finally.
they can hear you.
Okay, I've
That is
been
my
here
bad.
for about an hour. I've been speaking and no one's been able to hear me.
I'm
How many jokes have I cracked that no one's been able to hear?
I heard them, Ray. I heard them.
Yeah,
That's
so
what.
you were laughing at nothing like a crazy person.
Well, more importantly, these people thought I was talking to some imaginary person that they couldn't hear.
Okay, so we'll explain Fallout Cascadia.
Ray's gonna run
Fallout
down.
Cascadia is a total conversion mod, as we are bringing a totally new story in the Fallout universe using the Fallout 4 engine. And with this, we also will see the return of older role-playing mechanics like the dialogue system, skills, and perks. You know, we'll see those mechanics come back. Um, I guess that's the bare gist of it. It's set in post-apocalyptic Seattle, about 300 years after the uh, nuclear war in 2077. And you are, you know, you're the main character, and now you're found in the geopolitical situation of Cascadia.
Wow. So the game has worked well. It's supposedly. I need to get some debug statements to show me what my variables are, but supposedly the game has worked. Thank you,
Oh
Ray,
no,
for
no,
doing.
that one's that's Biggie. Senkaimon.
What?
Sorry, I got confused. I thought Senik was Biggie. It's actually Senkaimon is Biggie. Look in the chat. You can see the one with the moderator.
I'm look. Oh, hey. Sin came on. It's Viggy.
Yeah,
What? Viggy?
I
Darn
don't
it.
know. I don't
Viggy,
know
you're
why.
confusing me. Um, Viggy, or Sin came on. How hard would code be to learn if you already have knowledge in and XOR, if gates, etc.? So it depends. What kind of and XOR gates, all that, are you talking about? Are you talking about like actual hardware components of gates like that, or are you talking about? It kind of depends on what. I mean, those comparisons work the same in coding as they do as if you know how an AND gate works and you know how an XOR gate works. Those all work the same in coding. They really use that stuff. Oh, glad you're excited to play Skin Ripper. Hope you enjoy it. How far along are in terms of WordPress implementation? I don't know. I don't think we can answer that.
We can't say because we have internal schedules, but we have we have no public release dates because that the best answer is the game will be done when it's ready.
Yep. Way to put it.
And I can say we're making very steady progress. Right now. You guys will know when we're ready. We'll tell you guys.
Okay, I have Queen of Diamonds, Jack of Diamonds, Eight of Spades. Table cards, Queen of Clubs. I could knock with 20. Doesn't matter because the game's not done yet. I could knock with 20. Let's knock just to test how it's going. We'll knock with 20. So I'll knock. You knocked. P2's turn, which is right. P2 picked up the Queen of Clubs. P3's turn. At the heights on the table. These are King's Spades table. P3 has Cadillac. So that's what happened. Nice. So they wait a minute. Picked up the Ace of Hearts. Oh yeah, they sure did. They probably did have Cadillac. If they picked up the Ace of Hearts, then they probably did. Yep.
You know what this is making me think of? It's like a 1980s text-based game where you play cards. It's like here are your cards, and it just has that you have this card, this card, this card, this card.
Yeah. Understandable. Any staffing issues in certain areas? Rayler, are we looking for anybody?
Staffing issues. Please, can you explain?
Like, are we needing people in certain departments?
We're always looking for more people.
Well, not necessarily. I don't think we're looking for any more writers at the moment.
Well, if you want, there's no harm in trying. There's no harm in trying.
Well, judging by the fact that they're working on a nuclear winter mod, my guess is you are an implementer, much like what I do. If that's the case, then you might
always need more.
I was going to say, if you're an implementer, then yeah, you are great. Then you're on the Discord, head over there and post in recruitment. As Flynn knows, we all know, Doc is gonna have work for you. So Doc is our head implementation.
Yeah, Leon, Dr. Weird,
and he is certainly that.
Oh yeah, I don't know half the time if he's losing his mind or if he's just playing that.
Probably both.
I mean, he's a mad genius.
Draw a card from the deck. Ooh, and I drew the Ace of Spades. Yes, let's get rid of the Two of Diamonds.
Dear God, you said Ace of Spades, and I immediately heard the Lenny Kilminster song play. Just heard him going, the Ace of Spades, the Ace of Spades.
Card from the deck, discard a 5 of Hearts. Card from the deck, discard a 10 of Hearts. You have the... Okay, so it's my turn. The 9 of Clubs, Ace of Spades, the Diamonds, 10 of Hearts. The 10 of Hearts is a good card, but I don't have a heart. So we're going to draw another card from the deck. The card that I drew from the deck is the 6 of Clubs. I'm going to discard the 6 of Clubs, which is up. Cool. P2 drew a card, he discarded the 3 of Clubs. P3 drew a card, he discarded wow, he threw away the Queen of Clubs. That's a big card to throw away. Or
what does he have?
I don't know, but P4 picked up the Queen of Clubs, so you know that P4, this is logic you could get even if you were playing with real people. P4 picked up the Queen of Clubs, so you know that P4 wants clubs. They're going for clubs. P4 discarded a 4 of Diamonds. So they probably, if they discard a diamond, they're probably doing all right. You have 9 of Spades, Diamond. Someone's gonna get ready to knock soon, so I need to get a good card here. So that 4 diamonds.
You literally turn this into a Pip-Boy game. On your Pip-Boy, it literally just plays this out, as text.
People were asking if that's how it was going to be done, and the reason that we're not doing it like that, the reason we're not doing it as a Flash Pip-Boy game is because of one there is one very good reason we're not doing it like that, and that's because one huge benefit I think to the way that implementing these card games is that when you go and play card games if you're in vanilla Fallout 4 at your settlement with one of the gamblers out in the world or whatever, in Cascadia, one of the people out in the world, whatever, time actually passes. The game actually occurs in the world. There are the cards are actual 3D models that actually move and all that good stuff. So you will actually be you'll actually be passing time in game. You will have the background noises of wherever you are going on. It's going to be a really immersive way to play cards, which I am super excited for.
I was thinking that, and like I said, like there's just literally like one or two like like holotapes that have like weird text-based versions of the card game sitting there. And it's just like draws a card.
Me. No, wait. I have the Ace of Spades, King of Diamonds, Knight of Clubs, and I drew the Nine of Hearts. God dang it. Oh, alright. Oh, it didn't happen. P2. Oh, shoot. P2 knocked. Knew it was going to happen. P2 knocked. Player 3 drew a card from the deck. He discarded the Two of Hearts. Player 4 drew a card from the deck. Discarded the Queen of Diamonds. That's a big card to throw away, too. I am screwed in this game. I mean, we won't know who wins because I haven't that in the code yet, but I would be screwed. I would be royally screwed in this hand. So the options worked. I only have the option to take a table card or discard or draw a card from the deck, so that's good. I'm going to draw a card from the deck. Draw 4 of... Jesus, this game is screwing me. Oh, I'm getting...
This game does not like you.
Yeah, I'm getting pooped on here.
Poo-poo.
My best, I have 11. That's my highest. Was I the last turn? Hold on. P2 knocked, so it's player 3's turn. Yeah, player 4's turn. Then I was the last turn, so it exited the state. Awesome. So we would then go into the evaluation point. What time is it? 20 minutes until I said I was going to stop. So let's. I'm assuming the code is working fine. There's a terrible. Never assume, guys. We all know the saying about assuming stuff, right? What do you do when you assume? Makes an ass out of you and me. All that good stuff.
Yeah.
I decided to launch CK trying to find this weird race change, but I found weird fact of the day. Knight Varham is not human. He is power armor. Alright, that's funny. Haven't released it yet. Only released a few tidbits. Cool. I gave Juice a few materials for an upcoming mod set. Or included. I don't know what that is. Mod segment set. Oh, that's a link. Cool. I haven't really released much. Kind of hard to show off code and system. Yeah, that's true. It is. But no, that's your skill set, Divine. Yeah. Did you make a post already? Oh, that. No, you didn't. Go over there and do that if you're interested, because you probably are someone we could use. Hello, Axel Plosion. Welcome. I'm gonna call you Plosion.
That's
You're good. You're good, Divine. Whenever you're done, head on over. Hello, Apex Automatic. Welcome. We're working on source code for card games. So since we can't assume that the code is functioning perfectly, we're going to go ahead and add in debug statements to tell me how the code is doing. These debug statements are the equivalent, if you're familiar with Papyrus scripting, these are going to be your typical, print message boxes to show you what variables are what. Now, if this was an even lower level version, I would probably go into, no, I can't because of the breaks. Anyway, I don't want to debug this. Oh, by the way, 4,963 lines of code, and we ain't done yet. Dang. Whew. Okay. Question is, where do I need to print this statement? I want to print. Let's print stuff before and after each player's turn. So that way we can see what all they have. We're gonna essentially cheat. We're gonna make them show us their hands here. Okay. But luckily this is again more copy and pasting, but just in the right spot. After I write it the first time, I can just kind of copy and paste it around. We only have 20 minutes though. We can do something else for 20 minutes since I feel like we've done a lot of coding. What should we do for 20 minutes, Ray? We could go in game and I could show the current build.
Oh yeah, do you have any functioning card games at this point?
Yeah, Blackjack. Blackjack works. Blackjack's released. Blackjack's on the Nexus. If you want to play Blackjack. Yeah.
Let's play a little short round of Blackjack.
Although, I just realized that I actually don't. I don't have it on this machine. What else can we do? Yeah, I screwed that up. I don't have it on this machine.
Get it on this machine.
Yeah, but it doesn't have the new features that aren't released yet. I want to showcase the new features that aren't yet released. That's what I want.
No.
I know, and they're on the other machine. Let me think. What else can we do? I don't really have anything that well, you know what? We'll do this. Well, we started out coding. We're gonna finish coding, by golly. Gee willikers. All right, let's go down to where we want to put our lines.
Willikers, Batman.
Okay. All right. Debug. This is how I this is how I know how to debug. I can find it later. So whenever I want to remove my debug statements, I can just search for the debug. Remove those. Okay. What do I need to do? Oh.
I mean, Taylor Swift wrote a song about that, didn't she?
Printf. What do I want to do? What do I want to see? I want to see the card IDs, and I want to see the hand total, right?
Yeah.
But I don't care about the player, so I can skip the player. The player's me. I know what my total should be. Scroll down. We'll go to player 2. AI. Debug. Debug. Okay. Printf. Oh, let's see. We want to print integers, so we're going to do %i. Well, first this. Okay. %i. 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 These will be the cards, that the card IDs. So the ID, so I could have done stuff like using properties and classes and stuff like that in C, but again, in order to make it compatible, I did not. Even though you can do that in Papyrus, but that's not the point. So basically, the cards in the player's hands are just integers, 1 through 52, and so they exist as just numbers basically. And so I'm going to print out those ID numbers to see what cards people have. But then I also, what do I want to do? I want to do D equals get hand val. Oh, I don't want to do that. Do I want to do that? What do I want to do? Oh, I know what I want to do. I changed my mind. I wrote a function to print cards. P2H, so it'll give me the text, the actual word format of the card instead of the the number, so I don't have to do the math in my head. I can just use, you know.
I can't do math.
I cannot do math.
Neither can I, so, you know.
You ever heard of that? An engineer who can't do math?
There's a lot of things people don't think are possible, but they are.
All right. Okay, so we're gonna print out the cards, so that way, and then, oh, damn it, I would be remiss if I didn't do this. We need. I have integers for that. I do have integers for that. PC1s, PC2s, P21s. Should have done that as an array. I don't know why I didn't. p22s equals get suit, I think is the name of the function, right? Yeah, p2h0, wait, 0, I think that's right. Does that work? Gamer, what? Nope. Is that right? Did I do that right, game? Or software, whatever? Yeah, I did. Okay, so now we're just gonna do this. Control C. This to 1, change this to 2. Indexes start from 0, everybody, or arrays start from 0. P2, no, P2, 1s, P2, 2s, P2, 3s. Variable names are important. Player 2, card 1, suit. Player 2, card 2, suit. Player 2, card 3, suit. Suits, get suit just returns 1 through 4. 1 is a heart, 2 is a diamond, 3 is a club, 4 is a spade. So in this way, I can get integers for the suits. And then I pass that into get hand val. What is the fucking get hand val? Oh, it should tell me, shouldn't it? Are you gonna tell me? Right? Please tell me. Oh, come on. Yeah, here we go. C1, C2, C3. Okay, so I need to do the actual card IDs first. So I'm gonna do P2H0, comma P2H1, comma P2H2, comma P21S, comma P22S, comma P23S. Great. So this will tell me what the total value of the hand is. And then obviously I need to do, oh wait, I should probably, so I don't, This is the part that I can copy and paste later, guys, so I know this is really boring, but don't worry about it. I can copy and paste all this. Printf, %i, z. So that will print the total for me. Should be good to go. So what will I see? I will get the card IDs as actual card names, and I will get the total that the hand they have. So using that information, I can know if the AI is making the decisions it's supposed to, and that sort of thing. So let's check this out. Let's copy and paste this. So we have it at the start of P2. We need it at the end of P2. Rayler, what games have you been playing recreationally recently?
Let's see. Stellaris?
Yeah?
I haven't had many games installed on my computer because I obsessively try and keep from filling up all of the space I have on my computer.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Even though I have, like, my computer's, like, half full. Its drive is half full. I mean,
That's not good.
obsessively...
But that's
only half full, and that's good or not good?
Not good.
It's half full?
I thought you said you couldn't put games in there.
No. I don't put many games in there, and I uninstall ones that I haven't played in like at least a month or 2.
That's what you're saying.
I've been playing Stellaris mostly.
Stellaris is that like Minecraft but in space?
No. Stellaris is more like Europa Universalis in space.
Is that so? Is it like an RTS or?
Yes, it's a real-time strategy where you play as a spacefaring civilization you've just basically started your space empire. You know.
Nice. Okay. Cool. I like RTS games.
You've just developed FTL in your burgeoning space empire. You start off in your home system, and then you expand out.
Very cool. Very cool. I like it. The only RTS game I play though is a game. It's an old game. It's called Rise of Nations. You ever heard of it?
Nope.
Look it up on Steam. If you like RTS games, it's probably my standard for RTS games. If you think you might enjoy playing RTS games, that's the one I would recommend. Anybody in the chat ever heard of Rise of Nations? More importantly, does anybody in the chat currently play Rise of Nations? Because if so, hit me the fuck up. Oh wow, I missed a lot. Okay. Cool, Divine. Glad to see that's what you're working on. That sounds like a really cool mod. Been wondering if there's any chance to join the team, even if I don't meet the age requirement. No, unfortunately, legal restrictions and such. Age requirement is kind of a hard and fast rule. Well, probably saw that on this video then. Sorry, I was doing stuff and things. Cool, is there a chance of this coming anytime? But we don't talk about release dates, Apex Automatic. Sorry for, not being able to answer that, but we can't really discuss that right now. Scrivener did a great job on that. Did you work on that with him? What? Oh, Blackjack? Yeah, I gave Scrivener the source code for Blackjack. That's my source and stuff, and then all the in-world implementation is me. But he did all the back. Whenever you transition from the world to actually playing the game, that's 100% Scriv. Aside from the source AI, but everything that you see is all him. He absolutely killed it, and that framework is exactly what we're going to be using to work on the rest of this stuff. Tim, give the player the machine guns. We don't. Boy. Yeah, they were odd people. Yeah, Blackjack is there. You can get it now. There's going to be an update for that soon, by the way. I'm putting in some more voice acting files. Blackjack or Barstool Games, that will be updated very soon. I'm putting it. I just cracked settlement customer or custom settler dialogue, which is awesome. I put a tutorial for that. I was so excited to have that done. Thank you to everybody who helped me. There was a lot of people who helped me with that. But I am so excited that was done. So that's going to be a big update to Barstool Games, and new voice support for Nuka World is coming, and a change to the settlement functionality with the Blackjack table. So yeah, cool. Not currently. Divine. You have heard of it, but you're not currently playing. Cool. It's going to be converted to
City Skylines too.
Scriv is going to rewrite it. Scriv is going to go through line by line. Poor guy is going to rewrite it. I feel so bad for him, but he does do a lot of copy and pasting where he can. It's like variable names and stuff; those will stick. But he's a poor kid. He's gonna have to go through. I swear to God, Scriv's probably in here watching me, and he's just like let's keep going. We're not done yet. Not done yet.
Never done.
And then we'll do, what time is it? Oh, we're coming up on it. All right, we're going to get this. We're going to put, wait, I don't need the player I'm talking about. I don't need the player stuff. Get rid of that. Let's keep moving. Then we're going to run a game with the debug stuff in and see if it's all working properly. And if not, well, for another day. Problem for another day. Find P4, replace with P2, replace all should be 15. Yep. This, go down to the bottom. Okay, keep moving. Turn equals 3, V, AI. Control F, replace P2 with P3. That's good. Control C, go down to the bottom. More. Almost. Control B, AI. Good, that's play 3, right? Yes, that's player 3 still, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, now we're on player 4. AI. Replace this with find P3, replace with P4. All good. This out. Bottom. Oh, almost. P4 turn inline. Okay. Yeah, that's what we want. All right, build it. Cool, all good, no errors. Run it. 1, 1. Okay. We're on the players, so we don't see our debug stuff. All right, what I have a king of diamonds. Wow, I have a good hand. I'm not gonna knock, but I do have a good hand. Let's. I want a diamond, so I'm gonna draw a card from the deck. Drew a club. Can't use it, but I'm going to discard it to the table. Okay, let's pause here and we're gonna have to do some critical thinking. So the cards that player 2 has: an ace of diamonds, a 2 of hearts, and a 9 of hearts. And their total is 11. That's correct, because 9 plus 2 is 11, only adding the hearts. So good. I had a bug with that function earlier that I fixed off stream, so I'm glad that's working. So it's player 2's turn. They're going to draw a card from the deck, which is, 3 of clubs. That's what they should do, because I know their AI. This is kind of, I feel bad showing you guys this, because you're going to get a look at how the AI works. And if you know what the AI is thinking, you can kind of game, your decisions. So, that's kind of unfair, but, hopefully by the time you're playing this, you'll forget about it and you'll be like, I don't
People
remember.
are going to be recording that or taking all the notes.
Yeah. Well, you could also just open up the source and look at it. So, and you could also just hack the source too to just cheat yourself, but that's no fun. That's not fun at all.
There are people who do that, and those people I think are very, very sad.
Yeah, those people, they're taking all the fun out of it.
Like at that point, I'm like, what drives you to always have to win to the point where you basically take away fun of
Divine,
of not winning?
I know who you are. I know who you are, Divine. I know who you are. Yeah, Guess What's the Wasteland. Very cool stuff. I didn't realize you worked on that. Very cool stuff. That's, yeah, big fan. Big fan. Yeah, you're a good inspiration to me. Big fan. Big fan. Glad to have you here. I'm honored that you're actually watching. Very, very cool to meet you. What am I coding? It's a new mini game. It'll be in Cascadia. Not anytime soon, but it's coming. It's in a very early whip state, as you can tell. Take table card and discard. All right, so sorry, we're going through here. So let's see. Ace diamonds to the table. So player 2, now we're looking at what player 2 has now. They drew a card. They threw away their ace of diamonds, which is exactly what they should have done, because they didn't have it. They wanted to keep their hearts because they had 11s. They wanted to keep their hearts. They threw away their ace of diamonds, because it doesn't match the other two. So, but they got a 10 of hearts. So now they have 21, which means that the next time it's their turn, they're gonna knock. Or they should knock if the AI does. I mean, if the code does what it's supposed to, they should knock. P3 has 8 of clubs, 3 of spades, 5 of hearts, so their total is 8. Good, 8. That function's working. They drew a card. They found a 9 of diamonds. Oh, what did they? Wait, why did it skip? Hold on. It skipped. It skipped what he did. He didn't discard. That's not good. That's not good at all. I'll have to look at that later. I'm going to make a note of that. Making a note real quick, guys. Bug in Cadillac. I don't know if you guys can see my notes that I'm writing. I hope you can. Bug in Cadillac. AI. Shoot. Why'd that happen? Man. Damn it. I'm going to be stuck thinking about that. I hate it when this happens. Why'd that happen? P2. Wait. Oh, no. It says it right there. I'm stupid. It says it right there. P3. Wait. No, or hold on. Drew a card. Yeah. Drew a card, discarded 9 diamonds. I'm stupid. It worked. Never mind. Delete note. It worked. Hello. I don't know who's here. Who's here?
Uh-huh.
Hey, how's it going?
Going okay.
Welcome.
Can't complain.
Glad to have you.
Thank you. Ah, thank you.
Okay, let's see. Do a card from the deck. I'm about to hop off here in a bit. I'm just checking through all this. Discard the 9. Have you been watching, or have you been busy?
I've been busy.
Okay.
Watched every now and then.
Ladies and gentlemen, Flanarn. Well, everybody, welcome Flanarn, our project lead. Everybody say hi. Drew a card from the deck, discarded a 9 of diamonds. Is that right? Yeah, so they picked up, they drew a 9 of diamonds, but it didn't match anything they have, so they went ahead and threw it away. So they're still stuck with that, so they still have 8. Okay, cool, that's fine. Now, player 4 has an 8 of hearts and a king of hearts. Their total is 18. That's perfect. So they're going to draw a card. They're going to throw away their 5 of diamonds because it's their lowest. And now they have all hearts. So they would knock. But since P2's turn will be next first, P2's going to knock first, and P4 won't get the chance to knock. So after I make my decision here, P2 should knock. Let's see if that's what happens. King of diamonds, 4 of clubs, 8 of diamonds. So I have an 8. I need a diamond. Table card's a 5 of diamonds, so I'm definitely going to pick that up. I'm going to pick up the table card, and I'm going to throw away my 4 of clubs. So, oh shit. Wait, no, it worked. So, I have all diamonds, turn is ended. P2, yeah, 10 of hearts, 2 of, total is 21, that's 21. P2's turn, P2 knocked, perfect, that's what we want to happen. That's P3's cards, P3's turn, they drew a card, they picked up the 3 of spades. Oh no, what'd they get? They got a heart, so they now have 16. They picked up the ace of hearts, and they threw away the 3 of spades. So they have a 16 now. So we would beat them, by the way, guys. We would beat them. It's their last turn, so they're stuck with 16. I'm stuck. I get to go again because he knocked after my turn, so I get to go again. So P3 discarded the 3 of spades, so that's all good. They're stuck with 16. Now P4 has 28. They're going to draw a card. They don't have the option. They would knock if they had the option, but because we're in the, we're not in that anymore, someone's already knocked, so they don't have that choice. So they're going to go ahead and draw a card, see if they can get a better hand. They really probably won't be able to because 28's a pretty high hand, So they discarded the 6 of diamonds, which is exactly what you would expect because it's not a heart. So they're stuck. They're good with 28, so they're sitting pretty. They're fine. And now I have King of diamonds, 5 of diamonds, so I have 26, so I'm pretty good, but I can improve it by 1 more, so that, because 6 of diamonds, so I'm going to pick up the 6 of diamonds and throw away the 5 of diamonds, which is 2. So I now have King of diamonds, 6 of diamonds, 8 of diamonds, and the turn is ended because it went back to P2, but P2's the one that knocked, so it exited. Great, awesome, it works exactly as we intended, guys. Wow, that's big.
Sounds awfully complicated.
Well, that was me. That was me explaining the AI. But yes, awesome. The game is actually very simple to play. You just try to get 31. That's all it is. It's really easy. But I was explaining the AI stuff.
Probably sounded a lot more complex when all 4 parts were being explained at once.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah, I'm explaining everybody. If you're watching, you can see. Yeah. But anyway. When it's also a lot more complicated to keep track of when you're looking at it in text format, but when you actually see it in game and you see the cards on the table, you guys are gonna enjoy it. Cadillac's a fun game. It's different from blackjack. It's nice because the way blackjack works in the current build of Barstool Games right now and how it will work. But you only play against the dealer. It's very simple. There's no one else is in play. So it's nice to actually have a game where you're playing against. It'll look like you're actually playing against other players. I intend to actually have other NPCs sitting around the table in the implementation of it. When you're playing the game, you should see other NPCs sitting there with you. So you'll get. I mean, there won't be animations because we're not that, but they'll be sitting there. The cards will be moving. It'll be good. I think you guys are really gonna like it. So that is. Ooh, that's big. So now all we have left, guys, I'm going to go ahead and make a note of this in my notebook. All we have left now is to do what happens, if people have Cadillac and then evaluate and stuff like that. So we are chugging along. That was big. That was a huge. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Hope you all had fun. So all good. Select state. So this is nearing completion. And then once this nears completion, it'll go over to Scriv for port into Papyrus, and I'll keep working on either the next game or more implementation stuff. So, whew,
I mean, the big question though is it as good as Caravan?
You know, as someone who doesn't fully understand Caravan yet, I feel like I can't comment on it.
I don't think anyone fully understands Cadillac.
No one. I have to though. I'm gonna. Because you know of Scrivener's involvement with Fallout 4 New Vegas.
Yeah.
We're doing Caravan, so I have to understand Caravan. But I'm looking forward to it. I'll be playing a lot of Caravan.
I mean, either you actually learn to understand it, or just try to mimic whatever it does, and no one will know if it's right or wrong. Anyway.
No one's gonna understand. I can
like,
do
oh, I
anything.
lost. Well, that makes sense. All right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I follow. Anyway, so thank you so much, guys. I'm gonna remove those debug lines, but basically we're at around 5,000 lines of code. Still not done, but we're so close. So close. Thanks again so much for hanging out. Let me read the chat. Yeah.
Even though I was there for an hour, not being heard by anyone.
I'm glad Flint.
Yeah, I thought that was, but I just
So
like saw you, like you supposed talking every now and then. I'm like, Then I was like, Railer's in there. Hold on.
Sorry about that, everybody.
Yeah, so many good jokes no one got to hear. At least they were good to me because my sense of humor, I'm biased toward. So.
Very much so.
Apex, to answer your question, pretty much every existing mod will conflict with Cascadia because, well, for a lot of reasons.
It's a total conversion.
Yeah,
like we're changing everything.
Everything. So
I don't think there's going to be a gameplay system that goes untouched.
Everything will conflict. You will not be able to run vanilla or any mods for it.
So to say, Cascadia is a bad touch for all of the other mods.
Nah. But like, also do know when we say nothing will be compatible, it'll be to the sense where the patches needed most. In like 90% of the cases, like everything will be broken, weapons, armors.
Mm-hmm.
But to fix a custom weapon won't be more than 10 minutes for the mod author.
Yeah. Patches.
It mostly comes down to minor fixes.
Yeah, for sure. Don't expect your bigger mods to get patches anytime.
But we'll also, of course, be working with mod launchers or mod authors closing on release to make sure it's as easy and streamlined as possible for other devs to update and patch.
Yep. All right. Yeah, coding. Sorry for those of you who just joined. But yeah, coding. We just did a not a big update. We did a lot of work on the source code for the next mini game that's going to be added. You will be able to mod Cascadia. You will be able to mod the mod.
Yep.
Yeah, if you see something in it that you don't like, you'll be able to do it your way.
What I'm really excited for.
We'll even include a guide on how to do it, because that people have to know when you start modding Cascadia, you'll need custom setups. We're too big for the creation kit. You'll need some custom files and whatnot too.
But once you get set up, it'll be I don't know. I imagine set up. It'll be a lot like mod Fallout 4. You'll load up Cascadia ESM and make your plugins once you have the setup done, which is really cool. That's awesome. It's almost gonna. I mean, it pretty much is like modding a new. That's always fun, you know.
Is that like having? Is there a mod? Speaking of other total conversion, speaking of total conversion, does Enderall or any of the others have like their own modding pages?
Yes, Enderall does. Enderall owns its own page on the Nexus. Yeah.
Sorry, Evil Lapsus. Yeah, your realistic damage plus Horizon plus Floss build will not work Cascadia out the box. Sorry.
Yeah. But also, like, a lot of the mods people use most likely won't be used or needed, really, because like, we understand what the community wants. We see a lot of like the big ones, Horizon. There's a lot of tweaks that everyone in those loves. And naturally, we're looking at those tweaks and see what we can do on our end to incorporate in a similar manner. And
Yep. Yeah. So we're taking, obviously, I mean, as Flynn has said multiple times, this Cascadia is just inspired by, hopefully, probably will want them, you know.
We're inspired. Follow Cascadia. Inspired by bitching.
Kind of. Yeah. All right, I gotta go, so I'm gonna end the stream. I don't know if anybody else, you know of anybody else streaming Flynn? I have no idea.
Nothing enough, no.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I gotta run, guys. I got stuff to do today, but that was a lot of work. Thank you all so much for hanging out and be a part of that and helping me talk through my problems, my mental. Hope you all enjoyed it. Learned some stuff. I'll take it easy.
Auf Wiedersehen.